But let's now go to Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah, who joins the conversation. We told you we'd be bringing some views off the streets on utility tariffs. Bernice, if you can hear me, what do you have to share with us from the Obra spot?
I've been joined by two of the taxi drivers here who would be sharing their thoughts with us. Let me first find out from you. So, what's your name?
My name is Bernice Ajola.
All right. When you heard the news about the increase in tariffs, how did you feel?
Especially, I was very, very surprised about the increment because they have increased the price about last year, October, from September to October. And within January, ending of January, they say they have increased it to start paying in early February. I particularly, when I heard the news, I was very, very surprised. Usually when they increase the price of utilities, water, we don't feel it as such, but electricity, we feel it because when you buy electricity, within the shortest possible time, before you return from work, they say your credit have finished. So unexpected expenditure you have been making on electricity. But water, when you fill your containers, you know definitely that by 1 week or by the end of every week, I have to fill my things down. But electricity, we don't calculate the time it will finish. So this increment, I may say, I don't know, because they have increased the workers' salary. That's why they have increased it to that level. Especially we who are doing our self-business, the increment of these items are worrying our income. And so we who are doing our personal business or doing our personal work, we don't know where we are in the country now. We don't know in or out of the country, or what we are doing within the system now. We don't know what we are doing. If they break, we just be walking around without getting any aims or any hope.
So basically you're living day by day. You can't plan.
Yes, you can't plan because your income is lesser than your expenditure. Because we are living in a magical way. That's how we who are doing our business. Because those who are doing workers, they know that at the end of the month, this is what I'm going to get. So I can manage it on this one. But we don't know our income, especially we drivers. See how the fuel is going. Before the Christmas, they were shouting that they have reduced fuel. So let's reduce the price. When you go to the market to buy anything concerning about your work, everything have been the same. Now they have started raising the fuel again. So the fuel they have raised now, when I'm using 3 gallons of fuel a day, my chop money, 15 cedis will be going inside this thing. So why are we going? So the increment, especially electricity, is disturbing we, the private workers.
Let me take your thoughts too, because he made a statement about he not knowing what has led to all of this. The PURC says that they have considered the economic conditions, and even they have given the percentage way below what the utility or service providers requested. For water, for example, they were requesting almost over 300% for water, because the service providers also say that they need the money to provide the service that we need. The PURC says, look, I'm the middleman. I have considered the economic conditions and I say put it at this percentage. But how will this affect you?
Honestly, this is affecting me and us. I mean, if I say us, a lot of people are suffering. The masses are poor in this country. And sometimes the way this increment comes, I just don't get it. Within 2-3 months, increment will come. I just don't get it, my sister, because...
But you know that the PURC does quarterly review of the prices, and sometimes they maintain the price. Sometimes, on very few occasions, they've reduced it. But like they say, the utility providers need to work. So probably you're feeling the impact because in the last quarter of last year there was an increment, and again in the first quarter after their review they've increased it again.
You see, my problem is that with water, I don't really have much problem with water, but with the electricity, because electricity. Maybe if I produce water, I use energy to bring out the sachet water and water. If the electricity is, we are paying more electricity for production. It will make things go higher. And I'm asking, those there are some firms that you can see that belongs to the same politicians. Are they paying electricity bill? You ask yourself questions. Let me go off way a bit. Property rate. They own much property. Are they paying property rate? You see, there are some taxes that we have to be getting to subsidize certain things, we are leaving them, and they are pushing them on the poor. The poor man who is taking about 1,500, 2,000, and then when it's not paid his light bill, they will go disconnect the person. We should go to those people, siphon money from them to do their right thing and come and save the poor. Unlike this, let me go off it again. Unlike this free education, how can you be earning 5,000? I will be earning 10,000. I will be enjoying the same thing. Yes, you can afford, so you have to pay a little. The government will take part, you will take part, and then your part that you pay, you will be taking care of the vulnerable. This is just common sense.
So looking at this, which will take effect on the 1st of February, what is your personal finances? What is it going to look like? Your personal finances?
I mean, it's going to affect me a lot, because if I'm paying 50 cedis, I have to pay 75. And now let me tell you something. The moment prices, especially our fuel, goes up, people try to walk a particular distance before picking the car. And this is what I do to end my life, to take care of my kids. You understand? It reduces our work. Seriously. So now, the finance, how do you call it, sectors that have been brought down by this government, do help us more, this microfinance. You know, sometimes when you are broke, you just go there, they give you some injection, and then you just into your business. Especially, there are sometimes you have a problem with your car. You understand? You don't have money instantly. You fall on them, instantly they will give you. Especially like Parkway Indo. It's just here by us. They are always here. Have problem, you go there, they fix you up. And then you pay small installment. Look at them. They are no more. I mean, the system now, what these people have created now, it's a mess. I don't see any improvement. What is that kind of writer doing? Well, I mean, is he an angel? Excuse my language, where is Baobiantu? When the fundamentals of the economy is weak, the dollar will expose you. Look at the increment of the fuel now per liter. It's equivalent to $1 now. 13 CD plus. Where is he? I thought it's the most, how do you call it?
We are told that the gold for oil deal is on. We've received the first consignment.
It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. What is the Tamari refinery doing? The toll levy that they've been taking us. Where is it? Electricity levy, where is it? The toll levy. We've all be paying. Where is it? Is Tamari refinery functioning? Is it functioning? Atamis came and started paying it. I thought from there it will be working by now. Where is it? It's been turned into a reserve that they bring it for and then they put in there. We can't refine anything yet. We have our oil there at Western region. Our part, where is it? What are we using it for? My sister, we are in a mess. So I'm telling you for today, these people, I'm not grown, but I've never seen any worse government than this government. I'm telling you this. Kufuor, if this is how Kufuor handle this country, will MPP party will be attractive for somebody to handle it, the baton to Nana Akufo-Addo and his people, the so-called magical team that they claim themselves they are.
But government says times are hard. They look at what's happening around the economy and the world. They cite COVID, for example. They cite the Russian-Ukraine war. But they say that they are putting things in place.
Don't go there at all. Money was given to this country. What did they use those monies for? They claim they spent 54,000 Ghana cedis in Accra alone. Did you get any water, how do you call it, a cup of rice in your house for free? They just cook Ghana rice and some egg and then share it for these boys around there. And you tell me you spent 54,000 Ghana cedis within Accra? I mean, what did they use the money for? And you see a whole pack of truck with oil going round within the town, and you don't know where it ends up. I mean, why? We voted for this man. We thought he's a grandpa, that he knows the length and breadth of this country. My sister, you see, sometimes I just feel ashamed. I'm telling you, I don't feel proud as a Ghanaian any longer, because I know how a Ghanaian we are. If you travel elsewhere, you meet a Ghanaian, you see, yes, this is a Ghanaian. We work very hard. But in fact, the Nana Akufo-Addo I know is not the one I'm seeing. I'm telling you honestly, because I know he's a no-nonsense man. He's somebody who worked very hard. If I can tell you the businesses he brought into this country, that's why I like that man, you'll be surprised. He brought Mobitel, he brought DHL, he brought SGS. You understand? So such a man who is coming to stand as a president, won't you vote for that man? Because he has brains for business. The boys will be working. And one thing that he said that touched my head before most of them voted for him. The guy who killed himself at is it Algeria or Tunisia, burnt himself. When he was interviewed, what he said, he nearly wept on it. I said, no, this guy has something in him. But look at us.
So how are you going to manage, considering what is ahead of us? You've spoken about the increment in fuel. For you as a driver, you need to pay now more for water and electricity. How are you going to manage?
The problem is that you have to add something to your capital that you are working, because definitely when...
And where is that going to come from? Because you said the microfinance companies that help you are no longer existent.
When borrow, my sister. You know, let me tell you funny thing that happened. This union that we are in here, you know what? We have a particular money that we invest at Republic Bank. Every year, that's what we do. We invest it and then we take it back. This very last year, when we were going for our money, you know what the bank, Republic Bank, told us? They never give us any interest on their money. They deducted 11.2 Ghana cedis on our 50,000 that we put there. So you can imagine, we have to inject that money to be able to pay the guys. What have we done wrong? This money is that the loan that they've been going, that NDC was borrowing recklessly, which we all thought it was true. They borrowed more than any other government. What have they used their money for? I don't see anything. Yesterday, did you watch on your telly? I saw it. Western region. You see the overhead that is being constructed. It's been abandoned, no workers. Nothing is going on because the engineer said, how do you call it? IMF is coming for something, and then the Chinese too, they have some link with them, and then so they have to abandon the work. You go and see all this plenty money. Where is it gone?
So let me find out from your other colleague how he's also going to manage in these times. So how are you going to manage?
Okay, my hope is in God, not in a human being, because only God can cater for we, the ordinary people in the country now. We can't have anything to do because where we are now, the government can never assist us, because where we get assistance from, those are the places where they are tackling now. From the microfinance, they have collapsed them. Now, those who are having bonds, who are investing in the economy, they are not targeting them. Then we, the ordinary people, where are we going to? So we only put our trust in God. Only God will let us pass through, not human being or this government. Me, Francis, I'm above 60. So I've experienced how the economy or how the political issues in the country, I've seen a little about what is happening now. So where we are now, our relatives at home, there is no hope for us to be sending them anything, because we are not satisfied, and then send them the reserve. So what is happening now? Only God, we are only hoping.
A gentleman here wants to say something. Me patron na o bibi.
Na me cheze, mam, good morning.
You're saying?
But your family Nkola Ofi.
Nkola debi udi ankasa.
Midiano Nkola Ofi.
Sana wa mende to Nkola Ofi. You matter.
The na me can say, omampeni nanado. Edwe ye ho, a o ti di den suma ye no. Ye no ma de ton for no moto ade no. Omo ne mama nte so.
Na sisi afo no cry sa tumu bi.
O ma tumu kwa bo sina sa mo ti sa ka mo so mo te so. Na mo mo ahu yehim no mo so ere, omo ho nto omo. And so man, Omare, is here to fool Mune, but I say, I start to roll from Buma. On better to Madden.
Okay. Now, Sisiano, you say you be increasing in fuel and electricity from the 1st of February. Into what show a brabo moi, send over see a manage.
Okay, it's out in there. Yes, you know. Omu to my said, yeah, like your tremor, yes, you are 100 and you better Musa.
Used to it. Okay, so he's basically saying that at this point, he's just used to the hardship, and so with the increment in water and electricity, he will just have to manage it that way. Let me speak to this lady and find out from her what her thoughts also are about the increment in fuel. Mami Michiao, me pacho efra saying. Antiama, me pacho what is nyampa February 1st no? Ya two insuo ni electricity mu. And the annual no PRC or more share my year pricing of electricity in Suono, San or Modiaba. Into Sawusha, send our BC afa a manage.
Say, Lydia, a bad denka crow. If it says, say that I had any man coy ye. Say, fool, our better so no cry, and Ra was so an asangatum. Say, what to Tunia may soon light in the idea, and she 10 pesos of no. And she a bad day, Yang Bina, so yet the achoko. And then I make an emboir. And think, first, I want managing the Sanya, or mine, Kakamerawane, Yadin, Yebeti me at Tina, or many minutes, and I am Bojo, Niadenaka, Akos. Say about the say baby adwuma say. We cannot doubt baby adwuma say. Che ya high way otuntoga aduane wa ha. Na say we you be say we buy the Wama.
So what she's basically telling me is that times are hard, and she says the people who sell here, they don't come anymore because the prices of ingredients and other things they need to cook have increased. She says times are hard, and she was hoping that at least they would maintain the prices a bit so that everybody will manage. She's complaining that the fuel that was reduced just a few weeks ago has been increased again, and so for her it's basically back to nothing, and then she wishes that the PRC would have managed a bit. Now, so about me, PRC say, and you remember why ding a cobia or more yen soon amount or more generate electricity, no almost so hardships no account, into almost more. In fact, near electricity in so for crabby no, and you're near the more PRC a door so do near my ding Ghana for brain, almost so cry. Inti and also so dream was saying,
Madame Show, share Majumaya Miri, a 90 pesos, a 10 pesos. Says America Junsa, 50 pesos. Ubatopia tobacco, 50 pesos. Unum just was Hakojun, so 50 pesos. Madame, it's a dependent you remember had minya, maye, any intense minya, Mafoka, Medidi, and now would tell you no crap. Aduane no crap we are doing saying enam. Say enam 4 cities in you 5 cities cry adum bi na wo channel kakra ma yen. Oh what is say one Sunday no be ka ho dey am say enia ma no ebe ko soro pa.
So she says something very interesting here with the work she does. For those of you who are not familiar with this, so what she basically does is to change notes for the drivers here. And so if you bring 1 CD, she gives you 90 pesos, and then she keeps the 10 pesos. And so that's her profit. She says it's not anything really huge. Now she says, if I drink water for 50 pesos, I go to the urinal for 50 pesos. She understands that yes, these utility providers also need something, but she would have been happy if the cost was not put onto the consumer. So we are wrapping up our conversation here at the Brass Spots, and I'll do that with one gentleman here. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel Dramina.
Emmanuel, what do you do here?
I'm a driver.
You're a driver. Have you heard that we are going to increase water and electricity tariffs from the 1st of February?
And they yati there, but this year no, you can best remember the phone. Say this is a new man who even young drivers in the crowd. No, they say no, you fuel as them. Any can't say a Jumanaga sans more thing. It's the best rabbi because you want Colanson a family show. It's the best rabbi from you never did in this. Am I who cheer? It's the best song we sang up from you been found.
I was to say, I never more de no more and Sony when so. I'm so at the moment, almost he has a cradia, you mana when and Sony. Inti I say, any night, Chana cracker crana, or be to near and yes, I saw ye.
Okay. This year, no more and penny for no, don't move for some bay and a boy to member for no.
Now one Casanca opera, and then a person about general situation I won't see.
Oh, so this year, no, there will be a castle of money more thing. I am panso or money more and penny and quala will be soon. And this anchor be blue hot no more to my young Yankee ain't member for no, like he will be to me at a class and can budget. Because you said you must say, sick as and be a thing. The beer, why the Angasa will be a cat.
He's saying that the complaints about hardship, they're very true, and as a family person, as a driver whose work is heavily dependent on fuel, which has gone really expensive nowadays, he would have wished that government will do something about the situation and alleviate the hardship in the country. He admits, yes, that, well, yes, they also need money, that's the service providers, to provide what we need, but could there be something else that we could do about the situation? Well, so from the Brass Spot here in Accra, I've been sampling the thoughts of Ghanaians for you. drivers especially. The passengers are not willing to talk to us. In fact, I must say there's been a lot of rejection. People say they are tired. They wouldn't talk to us because, after all, where does it all end up? But we managed to sample a few ideas and thoughts for you on the increment of utility tariffs, which will take effect on the 1st of February. Back to you in the studio, Benjamin.